In the latest episode of the World Athletics Inside Track podcast, released today, May 4th, Sanya Richards-Ross, Richard Kilty and Kelly Southerton are in the Bahamas to Bahamas 24 World Athletics Relay, and they anticipate an exciting weekend of competition alongside World Athletics President Sebastian Coe and CEO John Ridgen. Coe and Ridgen joined Richards-Ross and Southerton respectively to give their predictions for the men's and women's 4x100m and 4x400m, as well as the medley relay. Ridgen and Southerton had a bold prediction for the men's 4x400m, handing a podium spot to India, which they have identified as a rising power in athletics. But the main talking point for Richards-Ross and Southerton was Ridgen's announcement of an intention to test the endurance of a 4x100m medley. The whole medley relay thing is actually a really interesting concept and, in many ways, we think that medley athletics could be the future, Ridgen said. For example, this year we are looking to test a concept of a 4x100m medley relay. We are not saying it will work, we're not saying it's going to be an event, but it's one of the things we're going to test. We're starting with an open mind and starting with all the different variations. Richards-Ross and Southerton were fired with the suggestion and volunteered to be part of the testing phase. Richards-Ross then offered suggestions for team formation. What if there is a draw to determine who will run which leg immediately before the start of the event? How interesting it would be to enjoy it even more. Kilty, who is part of Great Britain's men's 4x100m team in Nassau, joined Southerton and Richards-Ross in making the predictions, while they also provided clarification on the qualification process for relay teams at the Paris 2024 Olympics. This is the first in a series of World Athletics Inside Track podcast episodes from Nassau, all available through the usual podcast platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify and Social Sports Podcast Network, while fans can also watch the show on the World Athletics website. With an evolving lineup of presenters, the podcast will return later in the year as a star-studded cast will provide a preview of events at the Paris Olympics.